Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a Q&A today. Originally this was a couples Q&A that I had shared on Instagram. I asked you guys for some ideas for some questions for Raheem and I, but we never got to film it before he left. So I had asked on Instagram if you guys still wanted me to answer the questions by myself as much as I could, or whether you guys would rather see a solo day in the life. And it was a close call, but the Q&A won, so I'm going to try my best to answer all of the questions that you guys had given us. There is quite a few questions on here. I just didn't want to skip over that as if I never asked that and not even address or answer any of the questions that we were given. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it, but first I just wanted to say thank you guys for all your support from the last video that I had shared of me being really upset and Raheem and I saying our goodbyes. It was a really rough time for me, and I think a lot of you weren't used to seeing me like that. Obviously I never show that side of my emotions, and it was a little hard to post anyway because I was really crying like pretty hard, and it was just, I had pregnancy emotions, I had a lot of different emotions. Obviously stuff like that is super upsetting, but I'm doing so much better now. I'm keeping me and the boys super busy. It's been really rough since he left. Like, Mason's behavior has been on 100, like 100. He has been acting out really bad, and I'm trying to be as lenient as I can, because I know it's just because he's going through so many changes. He's going to be changing his school soon. He doesn't have the school structure anymore. I'm still waiting on New York to send me copies of his IEP and to transfer his case. Georgia here is ready for him. It's just all falling back on New York, and it's been a ridiculous process. Maddox has been incredibly cranky, and I looked in his mouth today and he's getting he has the 4 top teeth and the 4 bottom teeth, but all of his molars and the teeth on the side are all coming in all at once. I can see them all inflamed, poking through. So he's just miserable. Our banking account had a fraud issue, which has been really hard to like handle without Raheem being here, because we obviously share a banking account, and not getting to contact him. I still haven't received a letter, or I'm sure he hasn't received my letters. So it's been really hard dealing with that. I've been going through his recruiter, kind of. It's just been a rough week. But I think once we start to fall into a routine, probably after the first 2 weeks of adjusting, everything is just gonna fall, hopefully, so smoothly. But anyway, let's just jump right back into the Q&A. That was just a little life update. So the first question that I have is, when you first met, was it difficult or awkward to connect, or did you connect right away? Raheem and I were very awkward. Like, there were times that we had hung out and it was completely quiet. Like, we didn't know what to talk about. Like, it was just really awkward. And when we had hung out with friends outside of like just us, not only just us, even our friends noticed it, that we were so awkward around each other. But we were also teenagers. I feel like every beginning relationship has that awkwardness. Will you have a baby shower? No, I will not have a baby shower. I had a baby shower for Mason and a sprinkle for Maddox. Even if I was back home, I don't think I would want a baby shower. I've had 3 babies back to back, and I feel like it's just asking a lot. Like, you know, for someone to plan me a baby shower, or even to plan my own, which just sounds exhausting. She has everything she needs as of right now. I mean, I still have to get a bunch of last minute stuff like newborn essentials and such, but we've done pretty good at just buying for ourselves, and there's just no need, I feel like, for another baby shower. What's your dream vacation for the family? For our family, it would probably be Disney. We've always wanted to take the boys to Disney. I just want to do it at an appropriate age. I feel like I want to do it when they remember. And obviously the boys are really young right now, but Raheem's on the same boat with that. Even a Disney cruise would be nice. Just something along those lines where like they would get like have fun on this Disney cruise, and then we could go to an island. Raheem and I together have always wanted to go to Bora Bora. I think that would be like our big dream vacation. Okay, Raheem's initial pregnancy reaction. I had gotten this before because I had shared my my pregnancy reaction, sharing like my pregnancy test, taking my pregnancy test at home and recording it for the first time. I'll leave the link down below. And Raheem had not known at that point, and I was nervous to tell him, if you guys remember, because this was the first baby that was like an oops baby. Like, we were not prepared or ready, or, you know, I had just gotten my body done. Like, we were just not thinking about a baby whatsoever, and we never thought it would happen just like that, because we always had to try extra hard for our babies. So I ended up telling him, and his first reaction was actually like he was pretty excited. Like, I thought he was gonna be like, no, what are we doing, we can't do this, but he just looked at me and he was like, I want to be so happy right now, but I feel like you're not. And I remember being like, no, like, don't let me take your happiness away, because if you're happy about it, I can be happy about it. It was just really shocking for us at the time, and I actually loved that his reaction was that way. Then he went and made jokes about it, like saying that at least people will know that we have a good sex life and stuff like that. That's just him, that's just his personality. When did y'all know that you were each other's soulmate? So I actually had asked this to Raheem when it came up on Instagram, and his response was, I don't think it clicked for us right away. Even when we started dating in high school, as much as I wanted to be with him and wanted it to last, I was kind of just in my mind thinking that, like, oh, this is just a high school relationship. Like, I had hopes for it to last, but I never thought it would actually last. And I think he felt the same. We didn't feel like total soulmates until probably like 19 and 20 years old, and we started dating at 15 and 16. I think we had to definitely grow up and grow into ourselves before we were both, as teenagers, definitely more focused on ourselves. We were definitely more selfish, and then once we got a little bit older, I think that's when it kind of clicked for us. What's something you don't like that the other person does? Okay, so I can answer this for Raheem. He doesn't like that I fake look for stuff. Like, my biggest pet peeve is not being able to find something in the house. Like, I hate looking for things. It literally drives me insane when something's not in the spot that it's supposed to be in. And so I'll walk around the house, and he caught on so fast. I'll walk around the house and like act like I'm looking for it so that he can find it and look for it. Not even gonna lie. And he's noticed, and he's mentioned it a couple times, but he still looks for it, and it's not really a big deal to him, but he definitely noticed it. My thing about him that I don't like that he does is he's a huge procrastinator. So anything that you can procrastinate with, whether it's like taking the garbage out 5 minutes before the garbage man comes, or he was even like that in high school, like handing an assignment in like 2 minutes before it had to be, like anything that he can procrastinate on, he will procrastinate on. And he's definitely been working on it, but that's my biggest pet peeve with him. What's a food you hate but the other person loves? Okay, so I have a really big sweet tooth, and I love things like chocolate and sweets, and Raheem is not a sweet eater. He does not like chocolate whatsoever. He's not a snacker. He only eats meals, so I would have to say that's something. And then something that he eats that I don't like would probably be goat and oxtail. He loves Jamaican food. Obviously he's Jamaican, so that would have to be it for me. We both don't like seafood at all. More babies. Okay, so this was the most popular question. More babies. Let me put my phone down for this one. It's really hard for me to answer this because I just don't know. I want to say no. I'm pretty sure that this is our last baby. Do I want it to be our last baby? No. I love being a mom and I love babies, and I just feel like this life was meant for me, and children bring so much joy, and I've always wanted a big family, especially for holidays and stuff. I think it's beautiful, but I kind of feel like 3 is my number. Like, I just feel like this is it for us, especially because I don't know if other people feel this way, but this is how I feel. Financially, 3 kids are a lot. Kids are not cheap, they're expensive, and I want to provide a certain life for my kids that I could definitely, like, we could have more children, but I want to, that I feel like that might be taking away from the children that we already have, if that kind of makes sense there. Like, the dream vacations that we talked about, I don't know if those would be possible if we added more kids into the bunch, if that makes sense. So I feel like 3 financially is comfortable for us, and I feel like adding another one might take that away, unless, let's say, Raheem ranks up even higher than he is, or, you know, I make more money from YouTube than I am right now. Then that might change. That's why I say it's such a hard question to answer. But also, I'm noticing that 3 kids is a lot, especially if he's joining the military. This week I've had just my 2 and being pregnant on my own, and that's been a lot. So that's why I don't know how to answer that right now. I would want to say that Isla is my last baby. Were all your pregnancies planned? Sorry if this has been answered already. So Mason and Maddox were planned. Isla was not. Do you guys want pets? How many and what kind? Honestly, I love dogs. I'm a dog lover, but pets just sound so exhausting to me at this point in my life. We do want a dog, but I don't think I would get a dog if we were to get a dog until our kids are much older and can share the responsibilities of walking them, feeding them, whatever it is, because I just know that dogs can be a lot of work. Where would you ideally want to be stationed? So we had made a dream sheet a couple days ago, actually like last week. Yeah, last week. And some of the places that we had put on our dream sheet, I can actually see, were South Carolina, Missouri, Delaware, Utah, Florida, Arizona, and here in Georgia we put down a base because we don't want to be too far from family. But I also looked into the Air Force bases and looked at their amenities and stuff that I would want. Like, I want more of a family friendly base, so I tried to choose based off the actual base that we would be living in rather than the state. I just didn't want to pick any state with snow or cold. We're from New York and I'm over it, so I just basically picked ones that weren't too far from home but that were warm and had like some of the bases had splash pads and pools and things like that, and I want to be able to do that with the boys. Why or what do you think makes your guys' love so strong? So I honestly think it's, out of all of the arguments we have, Raheem and I love each other so hard. Like, so hard to the point where also, not only is it love, it's respect. I have like so much respect for him. He has a tremendous amount of respect for me. We're really good at looking at each other's point of view and perspective and putting ourselves in their shoes. And I think that just because we love each other so hard, like, this sounds so corny, but I think that it just helps us overcome everything, and definitely that level of respect that we have for one another. Where do you see you both in the next 10 years? I honestly want to own a house. So within the next 10 years, I see us owning a house. I see us just raising our beautiful babies, going on vacations together, still having date nights. I don't have like huge expectations because I feel like we're kind of in the right path already. But my biggest goal for the next 10 years, probably even 5 years, is I really want to own a house. What is something that you lacked and being married or being together has helped shape you? Okay, this one's really hard. I thought about this for a little while and I don't really know. I would say it would be, I think being in a relationship with him has helped me with my patience level. That sounds so weird and I don't even know how to explain it, but I feel like before I dated Raheem and even in the beginning of our relationship, I had really big attitude problem. Like I was just I don't know how to explain it. Like things set me off easily. I didn't understand why he did the things the way he did, or I don't really know how to answer this question because it's so hard for me to explain. But since we've been together, I think he's helped me a lot with his patience level. Raheem is very patient and very understanding. So I think he was able to rub that off on me a little bit. And I was someone who was super impatient, got frustrated easily. Isla's moving right now and that was just so sweet. I love feeling her little movements. Honestly, that's the only way that I can answer that question. That's a really hard question for me and I don't know what his answer would be. But that is all the questions that we got, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next vlog. Bye.